few places in the UK that you could, if you're lucky, see all 6 native British species of reptile. Come on, name 3 lizards.
Sand lizard, common lizard, slow worm.
Okay, 3 snakes.
Smooth snake, adder, grass snake.
Exactly right. And if you remember back 3 weeks ago, I went in search of all 6. Wasn't lucky enough to see the adder. It escaped me. And in fact, it's been a bit elusive from our camera team as well. They have, however, seen this one, the grass snake. Great time to be out looking for British reptiles because it has been so hot. So highly likely, particularly if you're in Arn, you might see one basking in the sunshine. Large but harmless snake. Beautiful snake. You might not have ever seen a grass snake, but the one thing you'll know about snakes is they have very long, forked tongues. But why? All of them have it. That's our smooth snake. As Chris said, we've got our grass snake and our adder snake as well. But why? And it's a question that has puzzled people for many years. Think back to the 4th century BC, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Aristotle invented scientific method of analysis, thought it would provide snakes with twofold pleasure from savours. In other words, doubling their sensation of taste.
Pretty good.
17th century Italian astronomer and naturalist Hodierne, I think that's how you pronounce it, suggested they use their forked tongue for picking dirt out of their nostrils. Nice idea, not correct. So, why do they have a forked tongue? Well, I think we might be able to
demonstrate this with a model.
Yeah,
Shall I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I'll go first, okay. Right, here we go. It's another one of our elaborate contraptions here. So here we have the head of a grass snake, which we're going to use as a model. Michaela, would you peel off my face, please?
Oh, you mean the snake's face? Okay,
Take
right,
the snake's
yes.
face off.
It's one of my
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tongue through here and demonstrate how it works. Only my tongue would never be long enough, of course, would it? So I have another appendage which has been adapted. So here you've got to imagine that my arm is the tongue of the grass snake, and these, my 2 fingers, are the forked part of its tongue. So it's inside its mouth. It smells something that it's curious about, and at that point it averts its tongue out and wafts it, as we've seen, through the air like this. Each part of this bifid tongue, as we call it, is moist and captures chemical scents left by the things that it's interested in. So, Michaela, provide me with some chemical scent.
Okay, this is chemical scent, and it's going on one of your forks.
Okay, so it catches it on that fork. It then withdraws its tongue back into its head and pushes that tongue up into the roof of its mouth, where it inserts each part of the bifid tongue into something called a Jacobson's or vomeronasal nasal organ. And when it does this, it dissolves the scent in a liquid held in that gland, and that transmits the signals from the gland all the way up to the snake's brain so that they can be analysed. But why is it forked? Well, because it doesn't, oh dear, it doesn't just have it doesn't just have one of those glands, it actually has 2. So let's imagine that this is the side that's caught the scent. Mick, drop the scent into the vomeronasal gland.
I'm dropping the scent.
Okay.
Just into one of the jars?
No, I'll drop this one into this one. Here you are.
So that's the scent. In it goes.
Right. And what you'll see here is that this here has more scent, and also in amongst there somewhere, if you can look carefully, you'll see this hint of prey.
Okay.
Basically, what's happening with this tongue when it's wafting through the air like this is if scent is blowing from this direction, it's captured on this part of the bifid tongue, then there's more of it here than there is on this one. And when it very rapidly withdraws it into its mouth, sticks it into its vomeronasal organ, that allows it to judge what distance and which direction the scent is coming from. So it's no different than us, if you like, having 2 eyes so that we can judge distance when we're looking at things, 2 ears, again, so that we can judge distance and direction when it comes to sound, and indeed our own nostril, which should work, but it doesn't work quite as well as the snake. Although we do have a Jacobson's organ, it's just a little bit diminished and not quite so sensitive.
Well, I think that was rather fabulous, don't you? Did we see the prey though? Look, there's the prey, a little froglet down there in the jar. So
Okay.
yes, okay.
Yeah. No,